Hello everybody, welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I'm going to go over the Roblox Black Friday Sale 2025 announcement, as well as the teasers for what items will be coming out for the sale. So yeah, let's get started. So Roblox did just announce that their Black Friday sale is returning after a little bit of a teaser announcement yesterday, where they replied to a post asking about the sale, and they said that that was an interesting idea. And what do you know, there's actually a sale happening. It will run from November 22nd through the 29th, exactly the same schedule as last year, the Saturday before Black Friday to the Saturday right after. So 8 days of items, one each day, exact same pattern. So if you were here last year during that Black Friday sale, you pretty much know what to expect on how this will run. So one item will release each day for 24 hours only, and then it will go off sale to reveal the next item, which will also be available for 24 hours only. And that will repeat for 8 days with 8 different items, all available for 24 hours. And the difference here is that last year they didn't tell us exactly what items will be releasing. We kind of just figured it out because store creators kind of leaked it. We don't know this year if store creators will be giving out codes for these items. It's not clear on that, but Roblox themselves actually leaked the list. So we know what's coming out at least for the first 4 days, and we can speculate on the last 4, but some of them are pretty obvious to tell what we'll be releasing. So this is the tweet they did. They said starting tomorrow, check the marketplace daily from November 22nd through 29th for some special items. Then they continue right over here to the post they replied to, and they said say less, and here are some of the items that I'll be releasing. So we do have this W ink shades. They are a pretty requested item. People have been wanting to see them return for a very long time, and it seems like now they're actually officially releasing. Keep in mind that the last time they were on sale, they were 9,500 Robux. So they're a pretty expensive item, and if they follow the pattern from last year where they mark up the prices of some of these items, I can definitely see this one in the 10,000 to 15,000 range. So it'll be a pretty expensive item. So if you don't have a lot of Robux and you see something later on released in the sale that you might be more interested in, you want to keep that in mind because this will be on the higher end. So definitely one to look out for if you are interested in this item. It's pretty cool. It hasn't been on sale in almost a decade, so it's definitely been quite a while since we have last seen this item, and I know many people are excited about this one. So pretty cool choice here. I think it's definitely a pretty nice item to return here for the sale. Now next up, the tweet continues to show the Evil Duck item, which is also another pretty popular pick. This one also has quite a lot of favorites, and it's been a pretty requested item to return as well. This one actually hasn't been on sale in over a decade. I think the last time it was available was around 2012, so it's definitely been a while since it was last available, and it seems like it was actually very cheap when it was available. So hopefully it returns again for a very cheap price. I think that would be very nice for a lot of people that don't have a lot of Robux. So I think this is probably going to be one of the cheaper items that return here for the sale. So a pretty cool choice, another very old item that hasn't been available for a long time. It's not really rare, so the owner count is not getting impacted too much. So a pretty cool choice here. I'm definitely pretty excited for this one, and I know a lot of people wanted to see this one return. It's a pretty cool that Roblox is bringing this Evil Duck back. Next up, right over here on the tweet, they do have the ASCII white item, and the last item that Roblox officially released were the lampshade here. So those 4 are the only 4 that are 100% confirmed, given that Roblox posted about them themselves, and the other ones are a little bit speculation. So right over here, the ASCII white item, another very popular kind of classic item, also once again has not been available in a decade and a half. I think the last time it was available was 2010, so a very old item, one that has been requested for a long time, and they have finally teased it here to come back during the sale. So it's a pretty cool choice. It was once again another expensive one. It was 6,000 when it was originally available, so if you are expecting to get this one again, it'll probably get a little bit of a markup, could be in the 10,000 price range once again, so keep that in mind. A lot of these are going to be on the more expensive side, so if you do want to get some of the ones that come later on, you might have to think about prices. So a pretty cool item. I think it was definitely a nice choice to have been chosen to return here, and I know people are excited about this one as well. And the next one here is Lampshade. I think this one was a pretty expected choice to return. It was a popular item during sales. I think the last time it was available was 2017, so it has been a pretty decent time since it was last on sale. It was also similar to Evil Duck, a very cheap item, so I assume it'll probably be cheap as well. I would be shocked if it was over 500 Robux, but it's a pretty cool item here. There are a couple different versions in this kind of lampshade series, but they chose the original to return, which I think makes sense. So a pretty cheap item, once again a really good item for those that do not have a lot of Robux, and this seems to be the item for the 4th day of the sale. And Roblox seems to be going in this pattern of expensive item, cheap item, expensive item, cheap item. And that will likely be the case here for these next four. As you can see, after the lampshade, the next one here has a little question mark on it. So we don't know exactly what item it is, but obviously if you look at what it is a headphone item and one that very closely resembles the Clockwork headphone series. And the most popular one that is still off sale, that I think is the most requested item to return, are these red Clockwork headphones. I would be really surprised if it was anything other than these for that slot right over there. So I'm assuming it's probably going to be this item. Very requested item. Was released twice, I think. First during 2017 December, next during the President's Day sale in 2019. So another cool item here people have been wanting to see return for a long time. Now, just like I mentioned earlier, if there's any item that would receive a markup in price, it'll probably be this one. I think Roblox knows that people want this one to return, so I would not be surprised if it was higher than its original price of 10,000, maybe even 15,000, 20,000 is what I'm expecting. It could be even more, but hopefully not that much. It is a pretty cool item, and it just makes sense that the headphone with the question mark on the tweet is likely these red Clockwork headphones here. Could it be something else? Yes, of course. There's an Android one that looks very similar, but that was a gift card item, so not the most likely item in the world. I would assume this is the likely choice here, so keep in mind if you do see those first four items and you don't have a lot of Robux and you'd rather get this, it might be wiser to save up for something later on here. Now the next item here in the tweet is this fedora, and it's a very specific style of fedora here. Only a few fedoras actually have this kind of shape, so that's a little bit of a hint there. And the next item here is also a tentacles item, which there are only a few options here as well, so we'll be going over those as well. Now for the fedora, I think this one also seemed like a pretty obvious one to guess as well. It is the pinstripe fedora, has the same exact mesh here. Some people are guessing the ghost fedora, but I don't really see them bringing back an event item, especially for Robux, not as a limited. So I think the likely choice here is going to be this pinstripe fedora, which makes sense. It was a popular item, returned often during sales. Last time it was available was 2018, so it's definitely been a decent amount of time since it was last on sale. So it just makes sense to see this one return. And this one also fits the pattern of expensive, cheap, with the last one, the red Clockwork headphones being the expensive item. This one was actually, I think, only 1,000 as the most expensive price it was, so definitely on the cheaper side for an item like this. So a pretty cool choice here if it is this item. Once again, could be another fedora, but this is the likeliest choice here. It would make sense with the items that we've already seen leaked here from Roblox themselves, where they have returned during sales and they have been requested to return. So most likely here is going to be this pinstripe fedora, and I would be surprised if it was anything else. Next up right over here, we do have the Tentacle series, and this one gets a little bit tougher since there are two really close options. There are three off-sale ones that they could have chosen from, but it is not the cultured one since it is not wearing the top hat in the promo, so it's either Rainbow or Great Uncle. Now there really is no distinction that is noticeable between these two on which one could return. This one was the cheaper of the two. It was 5,000 Robux when it was available, and this one was 9,001 Robux. So if this one returns, it'll probably be a little bit more expensive, maybe in the 10,000, or they could just keep the kind of meme price of over 9,000, which would also make sense. They are both on the rarer side. I think the purple one has around 500 owners, and this one has around 300, so definitely would be a little bit more common if either of them returned, and it seems like one of them is returning here, so I would just be prepared. If you do want to get either of these, I would have just at least 10,000 Robux, since we're not 100% sure which one is returning here, but they're both pretty cool choices. I think the Tentacle series is a pretty popular one, and it's nice to see them choose one of these that haven't been available in quite a while, so either one of the Great Uncle or the Rainbow Mr. Tentacles are returning here for the sale, which is pretty cool. Now the last one here, this is the one that has been the most up in the air. They seem to have added a blur effect to it, so you can't really tell exactly what it is, which is pretty nice that they actually made it a little bit of a mystery. I think it would have been nice to have the others be a mystery too, just for fun, but this one is the only one that's not 100% certain based on the silhouette itself. But based on what it is here, people have been speculating the eye series, but this isn't a perfect circle. You can see the bottom is more flat and there is something on top that makes it go up in the middle quite a little bit, and it's a bit clearer here. You can see this bottom is definitely a lot flatter than the rest of the thing, and there is a little bit more on top. So in my opinion, this does look pretty close to the classic Roblox pumpkin head. There is a little stem on top and the bottom is pretty flat because it is a head, so it would make sense if it was this item. Once again, not 100% certain. I think this is the one that is the most up in the air in terms of what it could be, but this does fit the shape, so it definitely could be the classic pumpkin head here. It could be something else that we don't even know that is also of a similar shape. Could be one of the eyes, but I think the shape is too irregular to be a perfect sphere like the eyes are, so this seems to be the most closest to that kind of shape, but I would not be surprised if it ends up being something totally different as well. So this is my guess, but I want to hear what you guys guess for this item, once again, we're looking for this kind of irregular sphere shape here. So those are all the items that we know of for the sale. It seems like there are going to be just these 8. If there is anything extra and special that happens, I will definitely make a video and include it. And not even 5 minutes after I just finished recording that, the blue traffic cone did just go limited here. So if you do end up wanting to buy some of the items to sale, they may go limited at a future date. As we did see the blue traffic cone actually released last year during the Black Friday sale in 2024, and it just went limited right now, a year later. So keep that in mind. If you do buy any of these items, they could go limited, and if that does encourage you to buy them, then keep that in mind that this is a likely possibility here that they could be resellable at a future date. So I did want to just point that out because that did just happen right now. So it's a pretty cool choice. I think that the traffic cone was pretty affordable at 1,000 Robux, so it definitely opens up some profit for other users to actually get some of their Robux back, and has a decent amount of sales, so a pretty cool choice here to have gone unlimited here. And who knows, we might actually see a few more items actually go limited during the sale as well. And right after that, the Tix Bling also just went limited. Once again, another item from last year's sale that was available for a limited time only of 24 hours, and now it is here as a limited item. So seems like they're choosing a lot of those items from that last sale, which kind of confirms even more so that these items could go limited here. So just keep that in mind. If you do buy any of these items, they could go limited if that is something that you're looking forward to. I think Tix Bling was a nice choice. I don't think it should have returned in the first place last year. It was a very rare item, and it was pretty unfortunate to the original owners that it did return. We can't change that anymore, and it is here limited now, so you can sell it if you did end up purchasing it for 25,000 last year, or if you purchased it for Tix when it originally released. So a pretty nice choice right over here, and it is limited just like the blue traffic cone. So if they do end up choosing more limiteds, I will definitely let you guys know over the next few days of the sale. But yeah, that is this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.